Hey folks, it's Jim. I feel that this is of the utmost importance. You've noticed I've been doing recent videos, and I've always done a little bit on economics. I know my channel sucks. I like it that way. I like my channel small. I love all of you guys out there who watch my channel, but I don't improve the quality for a reason. I like my channel small. Okay? I don't want to be 100,000, 200,000 media attention and all that other crap. And so I like my channel the way it is. But the deep state is under attack, I believe, from two fronts now. There is an article right now, okay, and this is in the New York Times. You can go look it up for yourself. Navy SEALs were warned against reporting their chief for war crimes. I'm not going to say the individual's name. I live by the code still today. I'm not a SEAL, but I still live by the code. I served in the military, and that is forever the way it is for me. I am neither for nor against the 4 SEALs that have come forward against their chief. I am simply reporting the facts as I read them, okay? And I'm not reporting any facts on this incident, okay? Period. But I believe this is the beginning of an attack on the deep state from the bottom up. If this is allowed to go forward, this court-martial, and it becomes public, the possible investigation frag radius could be as big as Tailhook. Remember the sex scandal within the military? Well, the war crime scandal, if this is allowed to go public, will be just as big, probably. And that tells us that the deep state is either losing control or it is purposely losing control, pulling a pin on destruction grenades of itself, and it's fleeing, okay? Could be that the deep state is on its way out. I don't know. If it does, we collapse. The deep state's the only thing holding the U.S. from bankruptcy as it is. Remember that bank I told you about, that's bigger probably than the Federal Reserve and the IMF? All right? Go look all this stuff up for yourself. That is being controlled by the deep state, isn't it? And these guys and all the special forces of the U.S. military work under the CIA and different intelligence agencies performing missions for them, don't they? So they have direct ties to handlers within the deep state, and you can see how the frag radius could get massive. And then if we have the Trump dossier from the top down charging treason, so here we have war crimes, here we have the possibility of treason. See how the circles will overlap? And in here is some pretty important people, okay? So we need to, and that are the root of the deep state at any rate. That's why these two together are important. If Trump makes a deal to maintain the presidency in 2020 and this is all dropped, then the attack from the top down goes away. If this is scuttled in the best interest of national security, then the attack from the bottom up goes away. But for right now, we have 2 open live grenades that could have a frag radius of massive proportions within the deep state intelligence agencies. Okay? So, because most of the special forces of the military are working directly for the intelligence agencies generally, okay, under their intelligence gathering, and then they perform the mission required, right? So we'll see how that goes forward, and I'm not going to speak too much about that. I'm neither for nor against the 4 SEALs that have come forward against their chief. There was a time when I was in, we handled our business within our own units, and but today is a different world. That's why I'm neither for nor against them. I understand the kind of pressure they were under. I absolutely know and understand what they must have witnessed and felt. But we had a code that was never broken, and our problems were handled from within, and they never got to the public or to courts martials. So it's important for you to watch both of this, because I believe for those 4 to break the code, something else might be going on, okay? And they were warned. They were absolutely warned. Navy SEALs were warned against reporting their chief for war crimes, okay? And there's a reason for that. If this goes out in the open, the deep state is under attack from 2 fronts, the top and the bottom. And that will eventually squeeze all the way in with overlapping circles. Okay? And if the deep state leaves, boom, we collapse because the deep state is the only thing keeping us from being officially bankrupt in the first place. All right, all the shenanigans and the control and everything else that's going on that you people read about all the time. Okay, now we have both a two-front squeeze possibly about ready to take place and explode, and the frag radius will be massive. So I believe these two are very important together. Okay, but deals can be made here and Trump maintain his presidency in 2020. And deals can be made here to scuttle all of this in the best interest of national security. That means the deep state controls and is still in power. If these two are allowed to go forward, the deep state has lost, it will flee, and the United States, in my opinion, will collapse. Again, this is not economics advice. I am not an economics advisor. I simply present things and ideas that I feel and that I see in the world today. But more importantly, this is about the United States, and that's what I'm most concerned about at this time, is our own country. And is it possible that the deep state is pulling the pins themselves because they're getting out? And if the global elite's money and the deep state flees, and the gold is already gone, they don't care if the U.S. collapses, do they? Because they just set up shop somewhere else and take over, don't they? So I want you to pay attention to both of these articles, and I'm sorry I'm not going to talk much about it. I still live under the code and will until the day I die, so I'm not going to speak about these things. You must, and I'm not a SEAL, all right? But I had my own career. You must pay attention to both of these, because I believe this is officially a two-front squeeze on the deep state, possibly, if they're allowed to go forward. All right, and that is very, very important. Remember the bank I told you about that could be bigger than the IMF and the Federal Reserve combined, that has never been audited and is a deep state entity. Jim out.